Today's topic is reading aloud to our kids in our home schools. Now, reading aloud doesn't have to just be in a home education environment, of course. I've been reading aloud to my kids since littles. But today we'll talk about reading aloud to our kids in a homeschool context. Stay tuned. Benefits abound when we read aloud to our children. I'll just talk about a couple today. So there is a bond that happens when we read to our kids. There is something so wonderful about having a child or children around you, and you've got a book open and you're reading to them and you're engaging with them and with the story. Even older children, even high school age children, even if they're doing something else like crocheting, for example. So those are wonderful things and a great benefit, and something that we want to encourage in our homeschool, just that bonding, that family time with our children, between the parent and the child, and also among the children themselves. It's a great idea. I highly encourage it. But there are academic benefits as well. When we read good literature to our children, they can learn cadence, they can learn syntax without even thinking about it, without even knowing that that's happening. The rhythm of the sentence. Years ago, when I was working on a graduate degree, I learned something very important, and it said, if you want to be a good speaker, if you want to be a good writer, then read good books. There is so much truth to that. So find some good books, some age-appropriate books, or books that will work with varying ages of your children, and that will be wonderful. I've got a few examples. The first two are spiritual books. One is The Story of a Soul, the autobiography of the Little Flower. So this was written by Saint Therese of Lisieux. This is one of the books that we have read together. Another is An Introduction to the Devout Life by Saint Francis de Sales. Now, do I mean that some morning we just start reading 5 chapters? No, definitely not. But in this book in particular, these chapters are very short. So it could be one full chapter. It could be a couple of paragraphs, depending on what you have going for that day, depending on the attention span of your children. But these books are examples of rich content that is just so wonderful. And then you get the added benefit of reading aloud to your children. But it doesn't have to just be a solely spiritual book. It could be many others, and I can give you a couple of examples that we have done. A Nest for Celeste. What a cute little book for younger ones, and I liked it too. We read the series of Rush Revere, so this is just one in a series. Excellent book that I would recommend as read alouds. Another is Mysterious Benedict Society book series, which I don't have to show you right now, but another excellent example of something that comes in a series that my girls and I have really enjoyed reading over the course of sometimes a full year, or maybe even more, depending on how many books there are in this series. So again, I would highly encourage these read alouds. The last point I'll say on this is that some people say, well, my child doesn't like to read independently. I really want them to. I encourage it, but they just don't want to. That's okay. That's okay if they don't want to do that right away. Reading aloud can be a way to help them get interested in reading independently a little bit later. So that's another added bonus. So I hope this has helped. I hope this encourages you to read aloud with your children, especially in the homeschool context if you are homeschooling. Mary, Queen of Heaven, pray for us. Saint Elizabeth, pray for us.